I'm Tristan Tanner, and this is my 2025 in the bag. This year, I don't have a disc manufacturer sponsor, so I have a little bit of every manufacturer throughout my bag, and it's been super nice to kind of experiment with some new discs. I have some old, I have some new, but overall, my bag that I'm carrying is the Sigger Odin. This bag is super nice. I was carrying a Pound last year, and I thought Pound was like the best bag, especially in the carry portion, and the ergonomics. It carried super well, but this Sigger Odin is amazing. I have just as many discs as I had in my Pound, but it feels like I'm carrying basically nothing on my back, which is awesome. I was really shocked my first time carrying it, but been loving it so far. But I'll get into that a little bit more at the end. I'll go through kind of all the features of this bag. For my discs, start off with the putters. My putting putters, I'm going back to the BT Hard Shield. I putted with these when I was with Latitude 64. For almost 6 seasons, I putted with these, and I love these things. There's nothing really like them. The profile is very unique. They're a fast putter, slightly overstable. These are nice and beat up. Super happy to be back with these. Gained a lot of confidence back on the green. Even through the injury that I've still been struggling with the putting, these have been really nice to be back in the bag and have some consistency. As for throwing putters, I have got the Proxy and the Envy. Axiom / MVP. This combo is absolutely amazing. You've got the more understable Proxy, where I can get some turn out of it. I've been kind of back and forth between the Neutron and the Eclipse Proxy. The Eclipse is a little bit more understable, but I think once this Neutron beats up, it'll be really nice. Right now I can shape this left, I can shape it right, and it's just a really great overall use putter. And then I have the Envy, which is just a slightly more overstable counterpart to the Proxy. They feel almost exactly the same in the hand. I think just the rim itself is different between these two. So similar feel, slightly more overstable flight with the Envy. Can use it in the wind, can flex it a little bit, can hyzer it a little bit easier. My last kind of throwing / approach disc is the Zone. I think everyone who bags the Zone or can bag the Zone will bag the Zone. So this is great for forehand approaches. This one's a little bit beat up. I can throw it on slight flexes with the backhand, a little bit more overstable, so I can throw it in the wind rather than the Proxy and the Envy. And great disc to have in the bag. Even though I'm not throwing many forehands, it still gets some great use. Next up, for my mid-ranges. My mids haven't really changed at all from last season to this season. I was with DGA last year, so I could bag kind of Discraft discs and DGA discs, and my mids have stayed the same. I have the Buzz and the Quake. The Quake is my most or my more overstable actual kind of usable mid. I do have one other one that's more overstable than this, but this is my kind of just overstable. I can throw flex shots with this, hyzers, more of a wind disc. I use this a lot on the course, so shout out to Parker. This is Tour Series from last year. Then I have 3 Buzzes in the bag. Stable, straight, understable. Stable is the ESP 6 Claw or 6-time world champ Paul McBeth Buzz. This thing is just stable. I can throw it on hyzer, holds hyzer the whole time. I can throw it on anhyzer, kind of holds, slightly pans out the whole way. But this is my most overstable Buzz. I have a Glow Buzz that my friend Colin gave me. This is my straightest Buzz. I can throw it on a slight hyzer flip. This is also probably my longest flying mid. So if I need to stretch that 400, 415 distance, it's going to be this one. But overall straight flight can get it to kind of shape any direction. And then my last Buzz, my friend Dawson gave me. This thing was super, super flippy when he gave it to me. Like hyzer flip, turn, super hard, almost roll. But as I've thrown it more, it's actually gotten more overstable. So it's not by any means overstable, but now I can throw it on a slight hyzer flip and it just gets a slight drift to the right at the end. I can even get it to just stay straight if I want to. But been loving this Buzz. It's an older one, so great feel, great flight. And then my last mid is the overstable one I was talking about, and that's just the Justice. This is that like Discmania Italian blend type disc. Super, super overstable run of the Justice. Strictly utility, hyzers, flex shots, chopped forehands in the wind. This thing's great. Don't use it often, but great disc to have in the bag. Now for my fairway drivers. I have got kind of 4 main molds and then a couple kind of auxiliary utility type discs. So first one is the Leopard 3. Leopard 3 is just my hyzer flip to turn. Like I said, I'm not throwing many forehands this season, so this kind of fills that forehand slot at like that 400 foot range. I can throw it on hyzer, and it's just gonna get a late drift to the right. I can roll this for like a more stable roller if I want, but mainly just used for that turnover air shot. Then I have 2 T-Bird 3s in the bag currently. I have a just stock Champ T-Bird 3. This thing's hit quite a lot of things, ground on the pavement, that kind of stuff. So straighter, a little more understable flight. Still has some stability at the end, but this is my straight flyer. And then I have a new Halo T-Bird 3. Shout out Colin again. So many of the discs that I got are from friends that I've seen them throw for a long time and I've wanted to try them out. So this is from another buddy. This one is just a brand new Halo T-Bird 3. Stable, can throw it on little flex shots, can power up on it, just goes straight. Super usable disc. Now for my more overstable fairways, I have the Avalanche, DJ Avalanche. Same disc I was throwing last year. This one, well, I guess they're both first flights. This is a little bit of special stamp, but this is getting beat up a little bit, so I get a little bit more flight out of it. Still super overstable, but can actually throw it a little bit longer. And then this is just a fresh, brand new first flight. Super overstable, great for flex shots, great for hyzers. And then I have kind of a hybrid fairway driver. People call it a fairway, but it's Thunderbird. I can throw this almost as far as my distance drivers. This one's pretty stable, so it's good for little flex shots, long hyzers that are in between fairway and distance driver, and it's a little bit more usable in the wind. Where I would use the T-Bird 3 and it's windy, I'll just disc up to this Thunderbird and get that straight flight, but a little bit closer to distance driver distance. So love the Thunderbird, glad to have it back in the bag. Then I have 2 utility fairway drivers. First one is the Vortex, another DGA disc, super flippy. Shout out Cat, this is their signature series. And this is just purely for quick flip rollers. So can throw it on hyzer, it's gonna rip over to that roller angle and then just basically bounce to the right. Don't use it very often, but super utility when I do have to use it. And then the exact opposite end of the spectrum, I have a disc you guys have probably never heard about, but this is the Goliath Discs Chainbreaker. This thing is super, super overstable. It's shaped similar to a Firebird or an Avalanche or that kind of disc, but I'd say it's more in between like a Firebird and a tilt. It's definitely pushing the tilt type overstability. Super stable hyzers, basically flies vertical when I put it on hyzer, can throw it for flex shots, forehand rollers that need to go right, but just a utility disc. And special thing about this disc, coming out later this week, maybe even by the time this video's out, is I will have some Tour Series chain breakers. They're gonna be in a slightly different plastic, a kind of splattery, swirly, opaque plastic, but you guys will be able to find those at Goliath Discs or on my website, so be on the lookout for those. But super fun disc, love the flight of this, been super awesome to have in the bag. Now for the distance drivers, I have got, I think, 8 of these, basically all variations of the Destroyer and then a PD2. So starting with the PD2, I just have this Mystery Box Skystone PD2, super overstable. Don't really use it a ton, to be honest, but it's great for hyzers. Throw it for a little bit of flex shots, but basically just an open course hyzer disc or when it gets windy. Now for kind of my more stable distance drivers, again, these are all versions of a Destroyer. So this is, I have a Halo Destroyer. This is my most overstable, kind of usable distance driver. Slight, maybe flip up, but mostly just stable. Can hammer this, throw it on little flex shots, go super far. Some overstable forehands too when I need it. I have a Halo Champ Emperor, I guess. I don't know the exact plastic types. Shout out to Eric Oakley for giving me this one. This thing is almost as overstable as that Halo Destroyer, but I found it gets just a little bit more speed. So it has a little bit more push on it, and just gets a little bit more distance, but again, pretty similar flight to that Halo Destroyer. Then I have a Bonanza Emperor. This one's 169, so it gets a little bit more push, not as stable as that Halo Champ Emperor, but still plenty of stability. Could use this in the wind, but just a great workhorse distance driver. Can throw it on some flexes, get plenty of distance. Been loving this thing. Shout out Bonanza. Then I have a dyed Destroyer, just Star Destroyer, super pop toppy, great flyer. This thing was quite a bit more overstable when I started using it, but now it's getting a nice flip up. Can kind of just use this as my main kind of distance driver. Again, straight flight, little flip up, very usable. Can also use this for some straighter forehands. Then I have two discs that fly pretty much the same. I've got an old Kona iBlend Emperor. Again, this is from my buddy Colin. And then I have a bottom stamped Star Destroyer. This one's 170. So these both are just my bombers. I can throw these flat or on a slight hyzer, and they're going to get that big turnover and just a ton of distance. If I needed to throw 600 feet, these were both be able to do that. They are super long flying discs. Not super consistent when it gets windy out, but if there's a tailwind or if it's just a more open fairway, I can look for either of these. And my last one is a kind of board flat Cloudbreaker. I don't know which run of Cloudbreaker this is. Found it in a used bin, and it's been money. So this is my most understable distance driver. Can basically kind of use it for that long forehand flight, but with a backhand. It hyzer flips, turns at the end. Can also throw this for a super long roller if I want to, and it's a great forehand disc, especially with my arm being injured still. It's just been nice. I can throw some easy distance with this thing, get that flip up, and not have to worry about throwing it super hard. But this is my most understable distance driver. That's all the discs in my bag. A little bit about the Sigger Odin. It carries all of the discs that are in here. I don't know what that number is, but that'll be up on the screen. It has some great auxiliary pockets. As you notice, there's these two disc pockets in the side that are shaped this just like the shape of the disc. It opens up to the back here, which is super awesome. So the front can stay covered if it's raining. All my discs are protected, but still with easy access. There's still a large compartment here in the front that can hold all sorts of stuff. I have some camera gear, my mics, towels, chalk bag, rangefinder, all that kind of stuff fit in this pocket. This is also the same pocket that opens up to the disc compartment if I want to have both sides open. But I'm a little bit OCD about how I like to have my discs lined up. Let me know if you're the same, but basically if I have both sides open, one side's correct and one side's the opposite, and so I just can't really handle that. There's also a really nice kind of disc retriever pocket slash umbrella pocket that just slips right down the side of the bag. That's lovely. There's two big water bottle pockets at the back. Can carry my 34-ounce Yeti or a bunch of other big water bottles. There's a great foam pocket, some good auxiliary pockets for like bands, tape, and just some smaller items like keys, and then two mini pockets. But like I said, this bag is super nice to carry. Shout out to Sigger for sending this out to me. I was carrying the Pound before. This thing has been money. Feels like I'm carrying nothing, and I've been loving it. So thanks to Sigger for sending me the bag. Thanks everyone for tuning in to my In the Bag. These are all the discs I'm throwing. Let me know if you have any suggestions or feel like I have any holes or discs that I would really love. I'd love to hear your suggestions. And until next time, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.